So, Mike Temple here with Energy Nerds, and we're talking today with Norma Weston, who lives in Cedar Rapids. And many years ago, we installed MLI reflective insulation for Norma, along with a solar-powered attic fan in order to ventilate the attic. And do you remember what year it was that we put that in?
80. Let me think. The blanket was 88.
2008. 2008?
Or
yeah.
2000.
Yeah, you know, people go 1988.
No,
But
no. 2013. I looked
2013. Okay, all right. So
2013.
2013, we're in 2019. It's been about 6 years since we put the blanket
Right.
in. And you told me when you guys when you first had it installed, what happened in regard to the install? Tell me about that.
Well, I had to take my bedroom closet doors off because that's the only entrance to my attic, unfortunately. And I think I had to do it I might have done it the night before. I'm not sure because I had to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, my bedroom instantly got cooler because it was always cold in that closet. And as soon as they put that blanket in, and I didn't do the doors right away because I had to put the closet back together, my closet was toasty warm like the bedroom. So
Yeah.
that was a big change
Right
there.
away.
Yeah, right away.
Well, here's what we've found is that we've looked at the energy costs for this home, which is, it's not a large home, probably about 1,000 square feet. 1,200 square feet ranch. Single occupancy, you don't have anybody else living here. And then the interesting thing is that Norma is good friends with a neighbor that lives to this side of her home and another neighbor that lives to this side of the home. And so they're kind enough to share with her their energy costs, and she's been able to look at what they're using in these homes beside her and really see exactly what type of a savings she's experiencing, because these are both single occupancy homes that are beside her. So in the month of July last year, in 2018, Norma's usage was 573 kilowatts, and a total for her bill was $111.14. Now I do remember, and it was pretty warm last year. It wasn't a mild summer, but the neighbor who lives in a home just adjacent to you, who has a smaller house. I don't know how many square feet it is. Do you know how many square feet it is?
It's about 300 less. I
Is
think.
it really?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so about
more
900 square
smaller,
feet,
yeah.
about that, and a single occupancy owner, retiree, staying at home all the time. Her bill was $197 versus $111 for Norma's house. And so the house that is just to the south of here is running in the wintertime approximately $20 more per month to heat the home. And the interesting thing is that Norma says this gentleman that lives beside her keeps his thermostat at 50 degrees during the majority of the time during the day.
While he's working, him
Yeah.
and his girlfriend, yeah.
Which you keep yours steadily at 68.
68.
Yeah.
I don't change it.
Sure. So, everybody's got their own situation, but when you've told them about these bills and the usage that you have, what have they said? Have they said?
Well, they think they're getting ripped off, But, well, I do have an attic blanket. I have a solar fan, and if I would go up into my attic right now, it would be cool.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I put insulation in there in March of 98 or 9 when I moved back here, and it was hot.
Yeah.
It was really hot then.
And the solar fan just keeps it cool all the time.
Yeah.
And so, this is on a different subject, but you called me about a year ago, and you had water coming down into the ceiling.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing this up because obviously we're proud of the results that we've gotten, the energy savings that we've got you, but we're just as proud of the service that we provide to our customers. And obviously we've stood the test of time. We're here. We're still servicing you. Tell us about what happened.
Well, it actually is the newer type steel roof that is shingled. Has asphalt on it, so it doesn't look any different than any other roof. But I had a leakage in right there, that little tiny hole.
Okay.
And so far I can't get anybody to come out and help me. Except this guy that he made sure it wasn't his fan leaking, which I thought, oh, it's got to be the fan, it's got to be. And it wasn't, and he covered up screw holes that should not have been there.
Yeah.
And has pictures of it, thank goodness, because I can't get anybody yet to come.
Yeah.
And it hasn't leaked since you fixed it.
Yeah.
But I have to deal with this, and I can't get a roofer to come out and even look at it, so.
Norma had this roof installed after she had purchased the fan from us, and the guy that put the fan back on, he never caulked any of the screws, and he didn't even install the fan correctly. He didn't put the caulk, or he didn't put the flange up underneath of the shingles correctly. But on top of that, he didn't even put caulk on his own screws that he used to attach the roofing. And that took the second trip. So the first trip was I caulked all the screws that he used to put the fan back on incorrectly. The second trip back out was to caulk the screws on the roofing that he installed incorrectly on his own product. But we've managed to stop the leak. And we did that, to provide the level of service that we want people to provide to us too. We're just like everybody else. We've got things that we buy and we expect good service. And Energy Nerds is just striving in Cedar Rapids to make raving fans out of all of our customers, and I think we've done that.
Oh, I'll say, and I guess you're going to be the next one that's going to have to get up there and check it, because so far I haven't. But I will say he used the wrong kind of screws.
Yeah.
I've learned that just by the pictures you took.
Yeah.
And screws shouldn't be visible anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So there's two big deals. So if anybody's going to install one of these roofs, which is a nice roof, you get the wrong kind of person that's going to take care of you.
Get the right people to install it.
You're the only one that'll come and look at it right now.
Right.
So,
well,
that's,
now, we try.
That, yeah.
Yeah, we try. So going forward, we're going to show this to other people. They're going to see this video. Probably we'll have it on Facebook. We'll have it in other social media. But what would be your advice to somebody who is trying to get their bills down?
Well, definitely go this route, because I can count on my heat bill was the highest was 97 this year. And it got pretty darn cold.
It was way wicked cold. In fact, I was at houses where I saw frost on the inside of the house up at the crease where the ceiling's at. I saw that. That's the first time I think I've ever seen that in the wintertime here in Iowa, where I went out to houses and saw that. And so, yeah, it was very cold. January was just terrible. And so you had your high was $97.
$97.
That is incredible. That is wonderful. So what that says is, of course, the blanket is performing for you in the wintertime as well as the summer. And see, the reason why I'm bringing this up and kind of making a big deal out of that is because there's a lot of misinformation out there. And the utility companies throughout the United States like to say that reflective insulation is a great product for the summertime, but not such a big deal in the wintertime, and that's just a falsehood.
That's false.
Yeah,
absolutely false. And plus, I had a guarantee. I forget what it was. If my utilities did go down 10%, I get my money back. So of course
you didn't
I'm
have any way that you'd lose on it, right? Well, after so many years of having that and all the bills that we analyzed for people, we just stopped doing the guarantee because it wasn't necessary. And we figured, we're getting people saving sometimes at 30-40%. I mean, obviously, if you look at your house versus the next door neighbor's house, we're looking at probably 50% savings. So we don't even need to worry about that guarantee anymore. We just basically tell people, hey, this is science. It works. We know it works, just like gravity works. I had a lady one time said, do you think this will work in my house? And I said, honey, do you think that gravity works at your house? And she goes, yeah. I said, well, this is science. It works. It works everywhere.
Right.
It works whether you're in Wyoming or Texas or Iowa. Reflective insulation works all the time. And ventilation, of course, works all the time too. If you keep the attic temperature down, you're going to have several things that happen. You're going to have lower electricity costs. Your regular batting and blown-in insulation is going to perform better because it's dry. Thirdly, your roof is going to last a lot longer because it's going to stay cool. And then, the health of the home, the overall health of the home is improved because it's staying ventilated. So The mechanicals last longer, your air conditioner, your furnace, everything lasts longer because they're not running as much. So it all makes good sense. Well, I appreciate you taking time, Norma, to talk with us today. And is it okay if we share this information?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you know, I will say I probably don't even have to turn my air on maybe until June or July because if I keep my house shut up, it's cool.
It stays cool.
It stays cool. Like all my neighbors are running their air way before me. So that's that's a testimonial.
Yeah, it is. I agree. And it's because the heat from the roof deck is being reflected away. It's being bounced away and never even gets a chance to get into the other insulation. So it all makes good sense.
And if I was to move, that'd be the first thing I'd have done.
Yeah, right.
And I'm considering it.
Are you?
But
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we stay in touch. We've been friends ever since she's installed this. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing this with us today.
Not a
So
problem.
we'll finish up then.